The city was a beast, always awake, lights flashing, cars honking, people shouting. It was a living, breathing thing, pulsing with energy at every hour. Even in the dead of night, New York hummed with a restless spirit, as if it refused to let anyone forget its presence. New York City, August 7th, 2010. The air was thick, summer heat pressing in. The sidewalks radiated warmth, and the city's heartbeat seemed to quicken with the rising temperature. People moved through the haze, searching for relief, but the city offered none. Down below, the city pulsed with life, but high above, Rain slept. Her apartment was a small island of calm, floating above the chaos. The world outside was a blur of movement and noise, but up here, time seemed to slow. She was used to the noise. It was just background music to her dreams. Sirens, laughter, the distant rumble of the subway. These were the lullabies that rocked her to sleep each night. Rain looked peaceful, her dark hair fanned on the pillow. In sleep, her face softened, free from the worries that haunted her waking hours. She seemed untouched by the city's demands, lost in a world of her own, but she was different. She had a secret, a past locked away. Beneath her calm exterior, memories lingered, waiting for the right moment to resurface. She carried her history like a shadow, always present, never quite gone. Tonight, the city's energy felt charged, like the air before a storm. There was a tension in the atmosphere, a sense that something was about to break. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath, waiting. Down on the streets, the party raged on, oblivious. Music spilled from open windows, laughter echoed off the buildings, and no one noticed the storm brewing above them. But in Rain's small apartment, peace was about to shatter. The quiet she cherished was fragile, and tonight it would not last. She was about to wake up. The city's noise would soon invade her sanctuary, pulling her back into its relentless rhythm. And the world she'd built was about to come crashing down. Secrets have a way of finding the light, no matter how deeply they're buried. The city never sleeps, but tonight Rain must. For what's coming, she'll need every ounce of strength she can find. It was just a matter of time. The city waits for no one, and neither does fate. Where did Rain come from? It was a question that lingered in the air, unspoken but always present, like a chill that never quite left the room. People wondered, but no one ever really asked. There was something about her, a quiet distance, a sense that she was always listening for footsteps behind her. She'd just smile and change the subject, her eyes flickering with secrets she'd never share. Conversations with Rain were like walking through fog, soft, gentle, but you never saw what was coming next. She was a master at deflection, always steering talk away from herself. No old photos, no family heirlooms, just fragments of memory. Tall grass brushing her legs, the scent of rain on dirt, a lullaby half remembered in the dark. Her past was a puzzle with missing pieces, and she guarded those gaps fiercely. The past was smoke, always slipping away, impossible to hold. She didn't know why she ran, only that she had to. In New York, she built a simple life. Bookstore job, quiet routines, a world small enough to control. She moved through the city like a ghost, unnoticed, unremarkable. It was her armor: wake, work, home, sleep, repeat. Each day was a shield, a ritual that kept the world at bay. She clung to the ordinary, hoping it would keep her safe. But at night, the walls crumbled. A sudden sound, a face in the crowd, and panic would jolt through her like electricity. She was always ready to run, heart pounding, breath caught in her throat. Sleep never came easy. The darkness brought memories she couldn't escape, playing the part of a normal girl, terrified of being found out. Every morning, she put on her mask, blending in, hiding the truth. The real Rain was someone else, someone she tried to forget, someone she feared might resurface at any moment. But the past never really lets go. Not in this city. Not tonight. In the hush of midnight, with rain tapping at the window, Rain knew the shadows were always waiting, just out of sight, ready to follow wherever she went. Rain's eyes snapped open. Her heart pounded. What woke her wasn't noise, but silence. The city was never silent, but now it was as if the world had been muted. She sat up tense, listening, nothing but her own breath. The silence felt wrong, like a predator waiting to strike. She crept to the window, shadows twisting her room into monsters. Peeking through the blinds, she saw the street below, empty. No cars, no people, just a flickering street lamp. New York was never empty, not even at 3 a.m. A cold dread washed over her. Something was terribly wrong. The city wasn't asleep, it was holding its breath, and so was she. Rain knew this feeling. The past was close. Then, a whisper broke the silence. It was so faint she almost thought she'd imagined it. A breath of sound that seemed to curl around her, chilling the air. The room, already heavy with shadows, felt suddenly smaller, as if the darkness itself was listening too. It slithered through the window, soft but sharp, a sound from her past. The breeze carried it, threading the voice through the cracks in the glass, weaving it into the hush of the night. It was a sound she hadn't heard in years, yet it was unmistakable. The whisper formed her name, Rain. The syllable hung in the air, trembling as if the wind itself remembered her. Her heart skipped, the name echoing in her mind, dredging up memories she'd tried to bury. Not a question, but a summons. It was a command, heavy with meaning, impossible to ignore. The urgency in the voice pressed against her chest, making it hard to breathe. The voice was cold, raspy, a nightmare come alive. It was the kind of voice that haunted dreams, the kind that made you look over your shoulder even in daylight. Panic seized her. How had they found her? She changed everything, her name, her city, her life. Yet, somehow, the past had slipped through the cracks, finding her in the one place she thought she was safe. Her world shattered. The bookstore, the apartment, all just a fragile shield. The life she'd built was nothing more than a thin veil, easily pierced by a single word. She stumbled back, knocking over a glass, a deafening crash in the silence. The sound jolted her, shattering the illusion of safety, and for a moment she stood frozen, heart pounding in her ears. The whisper came again, closer. "We know you're there, Rain." The words slithered into the room, unmistakable and menacing, as if the speaker was already inside. It was right outside her window. The presence pressed against the glass, a shadow in the night waiting for her to make a move. "It's time to come home." The words dripped with threat, twisting the idea of home into something dangerous, something she could never return to. The word home was a threat, a cage. Instinct screamed, "Run!" Every muscle in her body tensed, ready to flee, to escape before the past could swallow her whole. She grabbed her emergency backpack. She'd packed it for this moment, never really believing she'd need it, but now her hands moved on their own, fueled by fear. She didn't know where she'd go, just that she couldn't stay. Every instinct told her to move, to disappear before the whisper became a hand at her throat, not for one more second. With a final glance at the shadows behind her, Rain stepped into the unknown, heart pounding, the whisper still echoing in her mind. No time for shoes. Rain flew to the door, heart racing. Footsteps echoed in the hallway, slow, deliberate, savoring the hunt. She didn't use the front door. She ran to the fire escape. The window stuck. Panic flared, then it gave way. Cold air rushed in, carrying the whisper. She scrambled onto the fire escape, the city below eerily empty. She climbed down, metal cold beneath her feet. Behind her, the apartment door splintered. Two dark figures appeared in her window, watching. One climbed out after her, fast, inhumanly graceful. Rain's breath came in ragged gasps as she hurried down. The figure closed in, footsteps echoing on the metal. The chase had begun. How do you outrun a shadow? Tonight, Rain would find out.